as the academic year approaches, perhaps you're a college student, maybe a sophomore or junior or senior returning to campus, or maybe you're even a freshman that's getting ready to go off to university for the first time, or perhaps a parent looking to support your child making this major transition a little smoother. Many capable students face common challenges when they enter into that academic schedule coming off of vacation. Focus, managing complex assignments, or even getting started on projects. These struggles are often linked to executive functioning skills. However, you can actively build on these skills for a more successful year ahead. Hi, my name is Dr. Christine Powell. I'm an education therapist who has ADHD and the mom to a successful college graduate who also has ADHD. So I understand on a first-hand basis and personally some of the challenges. In this series, I'm going to unlock executive function powers. I'm going to give you information that hopefully will bolster your college experience. In session 1, let's get things kicked off by a general understanding of what executive functioning skills are, why they are so incredibly important for college success, and life beyond college. So think of this as kind of your roadmap for the entire series, where I'll briefly introduce all the core skills and we'll master them together. So what exactly are executive functioning skills? Let me share an analogy that was shared with me. Think of your brain like an air traffic controller. It's responsible for the thoughts and actions, and the executive functioning skills located in the prefrontal cortex are the tools that the controller uses to get things done effectively. This isn't about being smart. These are about how you get things done, how you take action. And according to research from the Harvard Center for the Developing Child, a leading authority in the field of executive functioning skills, these abilities are profoundly important across the lifespan. They are crucial for academic achievement, positive behaviors, and overall successful life outcomes. But the good news is you can learn and improve these skills regardless of your age or past academic experience. So let's touch on the top 8 core executive functions. Now I'm just going to give you kind of an overall glimpse at 8 executive functions, but we'll dive much deeper into each one in the upcoming sessions. But for now, let's just get acquainted with these vital tools for academic success. For each of the 8 skills, I'm going to briefly define it, and I'm going to give you a concise, like college relevant example of how a deficit might appear. So number 1 is working memory, and that's your brain's scratch pad. This is your ability to hold information in mind long enough to act on it and use it. An example would be possibly forgetting key details of a multi-step assignment instructions shortly after hearing them. The next one is inhibition, the brain's stop sign. This is your ability to stop yourself from doing something unhelpful. An example of dysfunction would be impulsively checking your phone, constantly getting sidetracked by social media notifications while trying to study, especially in your first semester of going back to school. The next one is flexibility. That's your brain's pivot. This is your ability to shift gears, adapt to new rules, or change plans when things really don't go as expected. An example of executive dysfunction would be feeling completely stuck and unable to adapt when, say, a professor changes a project requirement or maybe a group changes the date that you were going to meet. The next executive function is planning, and it's the brain's roadmap. This is the thinking ahead part, deciding on the steps and preparing for the future, something that's going to be done, especially in long-term assignments or projects. An example of dysfunction would be waiting too long, maybe the night before a major paper is due, and then feeling really overwhelmed when there's no clear starting point. The next one is organization, and that's your brain's filing cabinet. This refers to keeping track of materials like digital files, information, or maybe ideas in a systematic way. An example would be wasting your time searching for lecture notes or crucial digital files because your backpack or your desktop is chaotic. Our next executive function is task initiation. That's your brain's start button. This is your ability to get started on tasks without excessive procrastination. An example of dysfunction would be kind of waiting to the last minute, knowing you need to begin a challenging essay, but constantly finding distractions instead of opening up the document and actually taking the next step. Our next one is self-monitoring. That's your brain's kind of inner coach. This involves checking your own work, understanding if you're on track, and correcting your mistakes. An example of dysfunction in this area would be kind of rushing through an exam and missing simple errors or maybe key instructions that are going to cost you points later. And for the last one, it's emotional regulation, your kind of brain's mood manager. This is managing your feelings so they don't get in the way of your academic goals, future success, and even trip you up on your problem solving. An example of a deficit in this area would be getting so frustrated with a complex problem that you shut down completely and may even just completely give up. So a key tip that I would give you is that remember that these aren't personality traits. They're skills that you can work on with strategies to bolster to actually increase your chances of success. And in this series, we'll give you actionable tools to build like a stronger brain for academic success and your life beyond college. So as you transition kind of into the rhythm of going back to school when you're on campus, whether you're a student preparing for classes or a parent supporting a student preparing for classes, think about those 8 executive functioning skills that we just briefly covered. Which one or 2 do you feel is the hardest for you or your student right now, kind of as they prepare to move forward? Don't judge, just observe. Knowing your challenging areas is the first step to growing stronger, and this reflection will be incredibly valuable as we kind of dive deeper into each skill in the future. So for an even deeper dive, on my website, learningbyconnecting.com, I have a free research-based self-assessment checklist on executive functioning skills. It's waiting for you. You can take it free and kind of get a radar picture of where your strengths are. I'm Dr. Christine Powell, wishing you a great day.